Hello, everyone. Before we dive in, we want to acknowledge today that we're here on the traditional unceded territories of the Squamish Nation and the Lil'wat Nation. As storytellers, we are incredibly lucky to be here to share ideas and stories in a space that's all about connection and creativity. We're lucky to honor the long histories, cultures, and care of these nations whose presence on this land goes back since time immemorial. We hope that Film Picnic can be a space for learning, shared accountability, knowledge sharing, and reconciliation. This was Indigenous land before us, as it always will be, and the festival certainly wouldn't be the same without the Indigenous voices that shape it.
I'm Hannah.
And I'm Georgia,
and you're listening to Film Picnic.
Hannah, where are we?
We are at the Whistler Film Festival 2025.
25th anniversary, silver anniversary edition.
It is our second year here, and we thought we wouldn't have it any other way than closing out season 2 in the same place that we closed out season 1. And so here we are.
Here we are in a different part of the Fairmont. Actually just in the bowels, in the back rooms, in the liminal space that's still pristinely decorated with beautiful Christmas trees. To our right, a grand piano. To our left,
Just like
fabric
corridors and corridors.
Corridors. Yes, that's a great word. Corridors.
We did just record 15 minutes of this episode.
And we're just doing it again. I will say, you know what? I think yesterday we were like, or maybe I said, I was like, and this year we've had no technical difficulties.
That was it.
And then I knocked on wood for good luck.
Well, the wood didn't help you.
I guess not.
Help us.
But you know what? If this is the worst thing that happens, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. How have you felt about the festival this year?
I feel calmer than I did last year. And I
For the most part.
feel, for the most part, granted, there's still been some chaos. It's still been busy. I mean, as any festival is when you're running around and constantly trying to like do all of the things that you're supposed to do. What's so beautiful, I think, about the Whistler Film Festival is the concentration not just on film programming as a highlight, but they're also so dialed in and focused with the content summit and being able to connect filmmakers with one another in person, connect them with each other, with resources, with information. And that has been such a blast to be a part of. And I know we have both learned so much.
Well, I was going to say also, like, Whistler is kind of considered a smaller festival, but it still has major guests. Osgood Perkins, Chris Ferguson, his director. Last year there were...
Kobe Smulders last year. And that's just in the 2 years that we've been here. Like, I'm sure that there's been other... In the last 25 years of the festival, obviously there's been some very high-profile people that have attended.
And there is the space to actually connect with them and actually talk to them.
Truly.
Because there are so many masterclasses and content summits and panels.
Yeah.
And après, like little
Après
like events
receptions.
and parties and...
Yeah, which is funny because, again, like many of the other film festivals that we've been lucky to attend around Canada, the film programming is certainly still the highlight. I mean, I think TIFF is interesting too because they kind of have this, they're more celebrity based and they have the carpets and the like celebrity sightings are more of a spectacle there, and that's kind of almost an activity in itself.
Yeah.
Whereas Whistler, it's like outside is freezing and snowing and rainy, and everyone is centered on gathering and just meeting together. I feel like it's honestly one of my favorite gatherings of the BC film space.
Well, it feels lower stakes. A smaller festival feels lower stakes. It's more intimate.
I will say I think that's why George Strombolopolous this year, he was Whistler Film Festival's festival ambassador. He's been attending for like 20 years, something like that. But this year he's like officially like branded festival ambassador. But I really think that he is, again, such an emblem of what the festival is, connecting with people, having those, just like being able to facilitate really meaningful conversations, especially as we were saying earlier, like in a time when the industry is changing so much
and so rapidly.
Like every day a new headline that's like, this is happening. Like
Netflix bought Warner Brothers.
Tariffs, like how are we gonna bounce back? How are we gonna adjust? Like being able to have community in that and hear from other people in the space, just in order to like help get independent films made, help make your art, help have your art screen in front of people.
Yeah.
George really embodies that, I think.
Yeah, we'll insert some moments of our interview with him in this episode as well, but we will have him for season 3, so stay tuned for that.
We were lucky enough to sit down with George for what was supposed to be 45 minutes and ended up being like 2 hours.
Which was beautiful.
Him and his longtime collaborator were both ill with food poisoning the night before, and he still stayed and chatted with us for so long, which was just
so genuinely lovely.
So genuinely lovely. George Strombolopolous, thank you for being here.
It's lovely to be with you both. Thank you so much.
Thanks. What's the best piece of advice you've gotten from someone older than you?
That all the work stuff that we do isn't nearly as important as the people in your life. Like, it isn't nearly as important. And the people I talk to are 60, 70, 80, not 60, 70, 80, 90. I've interviewed people who are over 100. And those real relationships they have, those things matter more than anything, because everything else kind of goes away.
Yeah.
Right? Everything, like how long I've done this for 33 years. I'll keep doing it because I like it. But I've met people who have had 5, 6 lives in their one life. And I think a lot about this, that when you're involved, and this is, I think, a life lesson that I'm really focusing on, is when you're into something, if you have a passion, you're into something, you feel like it will fill up the book of your life. But as time goes on, it might only fill up a chapter in your life. And then for me, a lot of the stuff that was the book of my life is only a footnote in my life now. So there's still so much more to come.
That's a great way to put it.
And that's sort of how I look at it.
Yeah. You've interviewed very high profile people. Who is someone that, and you're always very professional and maintain your composure and you're a pro. Who is someone that you've interviewed that you have maybe gotten a little starstruck by and you had to actively like recenter yourself?
There was a day when I was in Standing Rock and I got a call saying that this one guy will come to your house and it'll be in a day and a half to do an interview. I was doing House of Strombo interviews.
Okay.
And this happened 2 versions of the same thing. Once in New York and once in my place in Toronto, where I drive for a day and a half to get back from the Dakotas. I pull through the winter, it's December.
Yeah.
Through the winter, pull into my driveway, run inside, start to get ready. This big black truck pulls up.
And
and James Hetfield from Metallica comes out. And I just had a moment looking at him on the driveway, thinking, God, I was 12 when I bought Ride the Lightning and Kill 'Em All. And there was a time up until the Black Album where we lived our life in between Metallica records because it was so gnarly. And I saw Hetfield. And the other time was when I was standing outside my apartment. I lived in the East Village in New York. And same thing. They didn't look like they showed up in a car. All of a sudden around the corner comes the King Ad Rock and Mike D from the Beastie Boys. And I'm just standing there looking at these 2 guys thinking, wow,
that's crazy.
If you would have told me when I was a kid that, because it's not just that I'd listened to them a lot, it's that an enormous part of my identity was formed in the Beastie Boys. Not the Beastie Boys of course the Beastie Boys first record was huge, but when they changed and grew. So they were a really bratty, inappropriate band when they were kids. But by the time the 3rd record came out, they were hosting Tibetan freedom concerts and there was human rights stuff. So the Beastie Boys went from these punks to all of a sudden, punk in a bad way, or harmless, they're boys, dumb boys.
Okay.
They went from that to all of a sudden becoming the kinds of men that we had permission to grow into.
I'm going to say, seeing the recent work that you've been doing, I'd say you've grown into that kind of person.
Sure.
You have had an amazing career in entertainment, whether that be producing, directing, acting, music, all of it. How have you seen the Canadian entertainment industry or media industry kind of shift over the course of your career?
In music, it has exploded. So the Canadian music industry, when I started, wasn't as sophisticated as it is now. So in Canadian music is enormous. Canadian literature has always outkicked the coverage. It's always been, really solid. It's funny, the Canadian film business is it's a little bit harder because so much of the filmmaking in this country comes from funding.
Yeah.
And then who gets funded and what scripts get approved. So the kinds of films that I like, the really outrageous kind of culture challenging films, I don't see a lot of them. That doesn't mean they're not happening, but maybe
at a smaller scale.
Yeah, it's a smaller scale. So the indie scene here, I've seen a ton. I love it. What I love in Canada is the shorts. So the short festivals here I love.
Yeah.
I went to the Badass Film Festival in Vancouver. You just watch 40 really insane movies, right?
Yeah.
Insane movies. And so I find here the short. I mean, I'm sure the feature filmmakers make great stuff too, but the short filmmakers you can get away with more.
Yeah.
So and you don't need as much.
Yeah.
So I've seen that really grow. I'm really curious to see what happens in the haze of the YouTube cats who made Talk to Me, right? Because
Oh my goodness.
they're showing people a different way, and they made that movie, and then everybody jumped in to buy it, right?
Oh yeah.
So
And they're Australian.
and
I'm
they're
half
Australian. Are
Australian,
you?
so
Oh, nice.
that excites
Nice.
me. Yeah.
That movie was so good.
Yeah.
That movie was so good, and I'm not a big fan of. Can I be? I don't
Yeah.
wanna,
Be frank. Do say whatever.
film school culture is not what I. So when I'm watching movies, I can see the film school. And maybe it's because I've made films or I've been hosted TV shows where I can hear the writer's room and the joke. I don't want any of that.
Yeah.
So those really crazy, like that Easy Rider Jack Nicholson character, that is not some film school stuff.
Yeah.
Right. That's not film school stuff. So I'm really working hard to find films from people who have rejected the notion of film school.
Yeah.
Because some of that higher education stuff, and by the way, great filmmakers come from it. You know, the big six came from it. But that was before it was an industry. It's an industry because of them, as you know.
Yep.
So I'm looking for like the really outrageous kind of films. You know, you've got the mount for your cell phone. I've got that mount. That that kind of approach to filmmaking.
I mean, yeah, when we did this at TIFF, it was our first time on a major red carpet, and we were seeing all of the crazy cameras. And we're like, hi.
You don't need it. You don't need it.
No, exactly.
Yeah, you don't need it. You
Yeah.
don't need it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're shooting in the right setting, you're totally fine. So I've seen it change in Canada, but not in the, like going to movie theaters, like these big movie.
There's like 3 people there.
Yeah, but and it's also because we're never going to be able to compete with the marketing dollars that the big ones have. But I believe that movie theaters should be mandated to carry these films.
I agree.
They should be mandated.
Yeah.
And every other country around the world celebrates what they do. I think we should do that for ours as well.
Yeah. If you could say something to yourself starting out 2005 maybe, what piece of advice would you give?
Buy Bitcoin when it was like 12 cents. Like when it was 12
when
cents.
I'm like, I should have bought a house when I was 3.
yeah, exactly. You want actual practical advice?
Yeah.
I'm trying to adjust it now. It's a bit hard, but put the phone down. Read more. Like I used to read a ton, and then social media and the clip culture and the outrage farming, but also just cool stuff and videos I like and the community I like. That I lost, I feel like a decade of my life doing this, and but I hope you're watching this on the phone and loving it.
Yes, of course.
We have to make content.
No, yeah.
But watch better stuff.
Yes, watch
right?
this
Watch
stuff
this stuff
instead of random.
Watch them,
Yeah.
So I wish that I would have gone back to that version of myself and said, you love reading. Don't run from that. Don't avoid that.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
This was our first interview of Whistler,
Oh, nice.
so thank you for
you.
making it so great.
No, thank you.
Hannah,
Georgia.
what was your favorite part of the Strombo interview? The Strombo experience.
The
It was an
Strombo
experience. TM, trademark that.
My favorite part of it was I think we talked to a lot of filmmakers and a lot of creatives, which is amazing. And George is a filmmaker, but he's also directly in the space that we're in right now. Connecting, doing interviews. He started on radio as well.
Yeah, I mean, very renowned in the journalism space, for sure.
Oh, yes, of course. And so, I think getting his perspective and his advice on what we're doing and his excitement towards what we're doing was very motivating to me and exciting. And the questions
kind of validating.
And the questions that he was asking us, actually making us think about, how are we marketing this? How are we giving our audience what
Something
they
valuable.
need from us?
Yeah.
And his just... Honestly, we were like, should we go to a bigger radio station? Should we move and his encouragement of just do it yourself, do exactly what you're doing. He was excited that we were shooting on an iPhone.
Yeah, yes, he was. He also had a beautiful little tidbit where we're in development for season 3. We're securing these guests. It's very exciting. And he was like, this time when it's just the two of you, it's never going to be this time again.
We'll never be in the garage like this again.
We'll never be in the garage. And I think that I'll tell you what, guys, Hannah and I do a lot of, my Subaru does a lot of driving equipment around.
We've had meetings in the Sub.
We've had meetings in the Sub. It's a lot of just honestly, exactly what I feel like independent film is. Like, you just find a way to make it work.
Yeah.
Even if it is with duct tape and whatever other scrappy things you need to do. Like, sometimes it is just the two of us pulling a wagon and
Yeah.
putting a picnic blanket down at an event. Like, it is very
Oh, we
Tactile
are
on
not
the
supposed
ground.
to be here right now.
we're not supposed to ask for
Forgiveness and
forgiveness,
not
not
permission.
permission. Which is the motto.
Yeah, I think another thing that was really lovely was he was really excited about who we were as people. I think we center ourselves around Canadian film because that's what we talk about and that's what's important. But I was born in Japan. Georgia was born in Guam. You know, we both have really international.
Dropping the Guam.
I know, so random.
So funny. And he was fully asking us just about ourselves, even though we were like interviewing him after he was sitting there with us. He was just like, I ended up like talking about my brother, and we were talking about music and Led Zeppelin, and it was
Yeah, and
very
also he
funny.
just introduced us to people like, hello.
Which also, again, another feature of Whistler that's so great, making high level people accessible to emerging creatives. David Cronenberg's producer, Marty, just coming and sitting down with us. Just because George was there, and he's like, "Oh, hey, you should meet these people."
And then we ran into him at an intimate private party that we went to that also we were scared to enter into. But then when we went into that space, it wasn't as scary as we had thought. Though we
Anecdote,
have,
a squirrel got into the party, and it was a big thing, and there was like a squirrel on the wall.
yeah.
Neither here nor there. Let's talk about the masterclass with Osgood Perkins and Chris Ferguson.
so
You had the
good.
pleasure of chatting with Chris on the carpet.
I did, and
We
I'm
speak
so
a little
inspired.
about that.
Oh my god, I love him. He's wonderful. It was so inspiring to listen. That masterclass was an enjoyable experience as well, just because it was so conversational. Osgood is so funny, and then
And him and Chris
yeah,
together
watching
is
their
so funny.
partnership. Every time they talk about partnership, I think of you, and it's like, oh, this is cute. We have a great partnership.
We do.
But
Osgood Perkins director, Chris Ferguson producer for Osgood Perkins.
yes, Osgood Perkins director of Long Legs, The Monkey,
Keeper.
now Keeper. That's I don't think it's out yet, but it's doing its festival.
Keepers.
I think it's Keeper.
I barely know her. Okay, we'll figure it out.
But listening, obviously Osgood had so many wonderful things to say, but as someone who is a Canadian producer, listening and based in Vancouver, hearing about Chris Ferguson's experience and how much success he's garnered in recent times and in the past as well within the Vancouver space, and how many talented creatives there are in Vancouver, and how he said, and I quote, doing things on the fringe, or there's a benefit to doing things on the fringe and not like everybody else.
Not just centering in LA or Toronto,
Yeah,
but
because-
building a special community in Vancouver.
And he has his niche, and now he's like kind of the guy, right?
The man.
Right? And like that was really motivating to me as well, because obviously we have conversations about, oh, maybe we should be in Toronto, more central, or even LA sometimes we talk about. But hearing that masterclass made me feel like what we have in Vancouver and in BC is really special.
I totally agree.
And
And Whistler is a perfect place to celebrate that.
it's like
really
an
think.
end of the year roundup for everyone.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
I really. Oh, sorry. Did you?
No, I was gonna say.
Okay. I also really appreciated, I mean, calling it a masterclass, I feel like was just like such an apt name, because truly, I mean, if you see any of Osgood Perkins' films, like he is a master at his craft. His creative relationship with Chris Ferguson and hearing about it, just purely in the sense of director and producer, I think was kind of eye-opening for me as someone who has dabbled in a little bit of everything. I mean, as you have, as we all have, but
As I think the creatives
you got to
to.
wear all the different hats.
Yeah.
But Osgood had these great visual metaphors. But there was one in particular where he was talking about kind of the reverberating effects of making decisions as a director and being able to trust your producer and trust that maybe your producer knows better what those reverberating effects on the rest of production are going to be. And he was calling it like drops in a lake and like water rings, which was just, he's like a very visual thinker.
Yeah.
But I really feel that way about this partnership, in that it's like very much about trust and an exchange of ideas between the two of us. And I think the way that Osgood was speaking about it, like they were actively shooting another film with Nicole Kidman in it.
Shout out Australia.
Australia, yes. We studied a Nicole Kidman film in the class where we met,
Well,
by the way. Australia
so
by Baz
cute.
Luhrmann. He was basically saying they were shooting the night before the master class. It was a really emotionally intense scene with a young actress. It was dark, it was raining. They were supposed to get more shots, like walking around in the dark and stuff, and Osgood was like, no, we need to call it. And then that kind of decision between him and Chris being like, these are the effects, and Osgood being able to trust his judgment and know if Chris is saying it's feasible or if it's not feasible. I mean, I just feel like it's interesting because you've got like this hierarchy, I think, on film sets, and knowing that it can be really effective when you just have that trust built between director and producer.
Yeah, and they were saying how they kind of have an equal vote in what happens. It's almost like a two-man ship. Well, it's not a two-man ship. There's everybody else, but they're the two captains of the ship. But then sometimes one of their says might have more weight because, for that instance, Osgood was talking about, well, they had this 20-year-old actor and all of that, and it was more of an emotional decision.
Like prioritizing the well-being of your crew over, like Chris was like, yeah, we should have gotten those more scenes, which was so funny because Osgood was just like, he kept being like, we'll get him.
And Chris was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah. And Chris was saying too, like, you know, maybe a few years ago he would have just pushed and said like, yeah, we really need to do this. But in the experience of working together, Chris said there's more flexibility in making a film than you think.
Which was really lovely to hear.
To hear from a producer, no
yes.
less. Like,
and a successful producer.
And a very successful producer. It gives me hope.
It does. Yeah, because that's what we want to see. Those are the changes we want to see in the industry. We've talked about that in our burnout episode and like back in season 1. And yeah.
Can I ask you more questions?
Please.
So Whistler's kind of the conclusion of our season 2 here. Hannah has just graduated from a master's in business management.
I submitted my final assignment the night we got here. I did 2 assignments that day.
Which is wild.
Which is also kind of why we didn't get as many like red carpet specific interviews and
just
went at our own pace.
There was just a lot happening.
Yes,
also
for both of us.
And we were able to capture a lot of lovely streeters and
Yeah.
speak with festival goers and people.
Yeah.
We both have this background in business acumen. Now Hannah's completed the master's. I've literally just been fighting my way through corporate finance, submitting my final corporate finance assignment like a few days before we got here.
And I have to say that was the one class in my university career that I didn't pass. I didn't fail, but I didn't get a high enough grade.
You have to like meet this threshold to like be able to move forward in the program.
It's a hard one.
At Whistler, I feel like we spoke to a lot of people that were talking about, I mean, with regards to producing specifically, but just the value of like having that business acumen to kind of back you up. Like, 2-part question. First part, where do you see yourself going with this degree in the near future? And how, I mean, I know we're ideating on this, but I just want to like explore it verbally out loud right now. How does that impact Film Picnic?
I'm so happy with my choice to get this degree. Truly, I feel like it was, I don't want to say it was hell because it wasn't, but it was a lot of work, especially throughout season 2 and both of us navigating insane schedules. But having this degree, I feel so much more confident in being able to talk. Like, film is a business. It's the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
And as much as I love being a creative, and I do consider myself a creative, I really love the logistics behind it. And I like to feel in control. When I understand what's happening, I feel in control. And I think the biggest asset for me in having that business management background is, one, being able to understand how to make a sustainable living through the creative projects that we're doing. And we're figuring that out. But I feel like my understanding, my experience, and my skills are an asset to whatever we do. The assignments that were throughout that program, I genuinely specifically catered to Film Picnic anywhere that I can. Any goal-setting project, any business development, any sales calls, like pitches were developed for Film Picnic, and that was amazing. Where I want to take it now, oh my goodness, where don't I want to take it? Like, I want to be a media executive. I have not interacted with many Black female producers on bigger sets that I've been on as an actor. I haven't seen that, and I want to see more of that.
What about the Mary J. Blige film?
He was a man producer.
He was a man.
I mean, Mary J. Blige was an executive producer. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to see more of that. But what I've realized that I have a skill in and that I have interest in is also media marketing and film marketing and how that all kind of ties together.
Which also the festival process can be like so big in terms of distributors.
Yeah.
And how films are, sorry.
No. Yeah.
Just how films are.
And being able to understand that and know what that means and being able to negotiate for and advocate for yourself. Next year, the business program was very corporate. And so most people were going into consulting or finance or marketing, but something that's just very business specific. Next year, I'm so excited to be out of school with all of these tools under my belt and actually be able to confidently be like, no, I'm going to commit to my creative projects. I'm going to commit to Film Picnic. We are going to be sponsored with so many different sponsors. What I will say also, aside from being able to like understand how to get sponsors and how to get sponsorships and have those conversations, being a young woman in any industry means constantly being undervalued, underestimated,
Yes.
and being able to have the confidence of a master's degree behind me and go, no, I actually know exactly what I'm talking about. We don't always know exactly what we're talking about, but
neither does anyone else.
neither
but
does
neither
anyone
does
else. And I
anyone
don't know
else.
why everybody keeps calling us girlies. Hey, girlies.
Something that we have also been discussing and encountering at all of the festivals that we've attended, but
Not just
specifically
festivals, even.
different events, different areas that we've been in as a partnership, as Film Picnic. I think, okay, I'm going to start by saying, in line with what you were talking about, I actually haven't even said this to you yet, but I had this thought yesterday. I think Hannah's also an actress. I think you're a great, obviously you're skilled at your craft of acting, but I think what sets you apart maybe a little bit is the fact that you have an agent, but you are also your own agent. And
Truly.
you are following up with people, you are opening doors, you are making the active effort to connect with people and seek out opportunities. And it's been a joy. It's been a joy to watch you
Oh my
do
God,
that.
Thank
and,
you. I
and
do feel like my own managers. Well, we are managing ourselves with Film Picnic.
we are managing ourselves, and I'm not easy to manage.
No, I'm kidding.
But I think it's really
Sorry, my ankle just
oh,
frick frack just popped. Sorry.
I think it's been great to see that. And it motivates me to be near it and around it and actively being like, let's create opportunities for ourselves. Let's go to this party and not just socialize because we happen to be there, but be talking to people about
Let's
our
give
next
them our
project and our
card.
next ideas and print business cards that feel nice so people remember us, and it's tactile and it's fun.
There's no card in here, but we do have stickers.
But we do have stickers. I think just that's like the biggest piece of advice I feel like that this year cumulatively I have learned is you have to be your own agent. If you are a young person in a creative field and you want to make it your job, you want to earn money from it, you want to exist in the business space of whatever it is in the legitimate industry, you have to be putting in the work yourself, not just the creative work, but all of the legwork that goes behind it.
Cannot wait for opportunities to come knocking at your door.
And people love that we are like young, excited people who are seeking knowledge, seeking mentorship, seeking opportunities. Like, as much as we have come up against some condescension and underestimation and undervaluation of us as a project because we're two young women, for every bit of that, there's also been
The right people.
two times that people that are like, including George Strombolopolous, that are like, this is great. What you guys are doing is great. And you have this great dynamic. And it seems like you guys are really going to go places. Like, let me connect you with David Cronenberg's producer who just came and sat down with us. Like,
and then sat down with us at the party. And then sat down with us again the next day.
How beautiful.
Shout out Marty.
Shout out
Shout out
Marty.
Marty.
Producer of the Shrouds. Yeah. Going back to what you had said. Being young women.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I think there's what I was gonna say. Oh. When we do come up against that condescending energy, when we do come up against the, oh, sweetie pie, you should keep this as your side job.
You girlies are so cute.
Yeah.
I love your basket. You girlies are so cute.
Which
and
I
so
understand.
sweet.
Our aesthetic is cute, but we as individuals, when we're actually talking and networking, like, we are adults and we do have degrees and whatever else. But I think also understanding that comes from somewhere and that's their problem. And like knowing us, you can't take that too seriously.
I mean, certainly don't take it personally and don't let it get to us.
You have to just be
Because
like,
we
okay,
know our own
this is
value.
the person that doesn't get it, and that's fine. Someone else will.
Precise. That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
From the get-go, we lean into our identity as two young women, two queer women, two women of multicultural upbringing, international sensibilities, understanding that value and knowledge comes from many different places.
bringing that sensibility into the other spaces that we walk into, I think has been key in being able to let what honestly seems like internalized misogyny from some people, what honestly seems like just some blatant ageism. Like,
Yeah.
I think having such a foundational belief in like our project and what our value is and ourselves is the only way that we're able to just let it roll off our back and be like, okay, well, they don't get it, but somebody else does.
Yeah, and circling back to your question about kind of like what's next and what's in store,
Mhm.
and also tying into what we were talking about with George, consistency. That's what next year is all about.
Period.
Consistently showing up, consistently continuing to put out our work, talk about what we're doing, failing publicly, failing
Yes.
forward is so important because it's actually not embarrassing to fail. It's not embarrassing to be like, we tried that didn't work.
And it is so interesting to understand that even if we perceive it as failing, other people don't. Hannah came up to me after a red carpet interview and was like, oh my gosh, I feel like I kind of flubbed that, which you didn't. It was
Thank
masked
you.
very well. But the people, there were other like, I think like just like other students that were kind of in the
I
area
think they were helping out with some of the Whistler media stuff.
doing some media stuff. Anyways, yeah,
From
but they
Cap.
were
Shout
from
out,
Cap.
guys.
Shout out.
Hi.
Hi. We're standing nearby and they were like, you seem so confident. Like, how do you do interviews with such confidence? And it's like, you know what? People are not perceiving you the way that you're perceiving yourself.
Yeah.
And I think I don't know, that was really validating for me to hear because I was like, when
Should
I'm
we
doing
tell
things
them what had
and-
happened
oh my
leading
God.
up to that interview?
fully. How do we set the scene for this?
So we came to Whistler with specific goals.
A hope and a dream.
A hope and a dream.
Specific goals, though. Yes.
We really wanted, obviously we wanted to talk to George.
Yeah.
We also really wanted to talk to Osgood Perkins and Chris Ferguson.
We wanted to lock down some people for season 3, which we did.
We did.
Beautiful.
Um,
Left-handed shake. That was spooky.
ooh.
We came to
and
Whistler.
We did come to Whistler. We went to the masterclass. That was great. I think the day was full of
There's always delays,
There's always
unexpected
delays.
kind
There's
of
running into
kerfuffles,
people.
running into people.
To start us off, it got to 3 p.m. and we realized that we hadn't eaten a meal and I hadn't had any water. I don't know if you had, but we just hadn't eaten anything.
Yeah.
So we decide we need to go get some
We
food.
need to prioritize our well-being and go get some food.
But it takes us about an hour to get out of the space we were in because we kept running into people that we knew and like having
Going
these great
between
conversations.
Locations also.
So then by the time we got to the burger spot, we were like, okay, we have to get this for takeaway. I had one bite.
I ate very quickly. I was hungry. I was wearing a white shirt. This will come up later.
We'll circle back to that.
We'll circle back to that.
So I'm also like producing something else. So I'm like trying to think about what I want to ask Chris Ferguson, but then also like getting this post up for Instagram. And then we're like,
And I'm driving the car and trying to prep questions for Osgood Perkins because he's also going to be at this carpet that we're running to.
yep.
Trying to prep, trying to do it all. Trying to
And-
find parking. Also, just the logistical nightmare. I feel like maybe nightmare is dramatic, but there's been different locations at Whistler this year. The festival has looked a little different. The logistics of where you are and where things are taking place.
And I think
not
last
the
year as
same.
well, Bridget kind of dropped you off and then would like
True.
pick you up. So it wasn't a car that we had to deal with. It was just lugging around
Yes.
equipment. So
So having
you win some, you lose.
you win some, you lose some. Getting to the conference center.
We were supposed to be there at 4:45. We're
I wanna
looking
say-
for parking.
4:50. We're in the parking garage circling. No parking.
Not a
Nowhere to
single
park.
parking spot.
We're like, this is the biggest interview opportunity. We're like, these are literally the highest profile stars at this festival. We have a chance to be on their carpet. We sent the emails. We did the
We
prep
sent the
work.
email the night before as well. I'm so sorry, Nicola and
Chris from Coldwater Communications. But
they were great. It was fine.
I don't know. I feel like these are always happening last minute for carpets. I'm going
It's
to be so
fine.
honest.
It
at
doesn't even
festivals.
matter.
Even at TIFF, it was like a day before.
We would message the night at 10
We'd
p.m.
know
the
what's
night
happening.
before. Anyway, I'm like getting nervous. So I'm like, Georgia, we just need to like set up the equipment so it's there. Can you leave me at the door? I'll take everything. And by everything, of course, I forgot the basket.
But we have a suitcase of equipment and we have a tripod.
I grabbed that, but the basket had our mics and labs in it.
There was still nowhere to park. Was not happening. I was like, okay, I'm going to deploy Hannah. Hannah's going to leap out, go in. I'm going to pull around somewhere and find some other place to park. Whistler Village is
topsy-turvy, one-ways, bus loops, a million pedestrians. It's night. It's raining. So it's like diving in and out, found a place to park, and it's expensive. Parked, left the car. I get a call from Hannah.
Okay, so from my perspective, it's now 4:55, and I've spoken to the media person, and she's like, okay, we'll try to get you Osgood, but timing's really tight. It looks like they're going to be late. You're going to talk to Chris, but like we'll try to get Osgood. We'll see what happens. But like just be ready. By the way, you have some lipstick on your face. The bite of my burger left me with like a ring of red on my chin. So I go,
Great.
plug my phone in.
Thank you.
And I'm like, where are the mics? Uh-oh, I didn't grab the basket.
I get a call from Hannah. I'm running from the car because it's a 7-minute walk. But I was like, I'm going to hustle and I'm going to get there in 4 minutes. I'm going to run. I'm running. Hannah calls me. Oh, can you grab the basket? I'm like, yes. And the background of the call, it's like the photographer's like, they're coming right now. Can she just park outside for 10 minutes or something?
Oh my God. I'm like, and Georgia, I'm like, how far away? You're like 7 minutes. I'm like, that's
like,
not going to work.
Sweating bullets.
And then Georgia's like, well, there's nothing I can do about it now. I'm like, can you just park out the front? I'm so sorry.
Run back to the car. Make sure I have the basket in the passenger seat. Whipping in the soup. Whipping around in my Subaru. With appropriate caution.
Yeah.
There was a one-way. I had to go around this whole different way.
Yeah.
I did illegally park.
Briefly.
Briefly. In an electric vehicle zone behind other vehicles. I get in there.
Just in time.
As I am running down the stairs, I see Nicola dash in.
Nicola Pender PR.
Nicola Pender PR, shout out. She's got multiple carpets going on at multiple times. She had a reason that she was late. I see her go, and I'm like, okay, there's Nicola. That's where I need to go. I'm going down the stairs. As I look down to make sure that I have my media pass, I look down, huge, gargantuan, on my white blouse. On
And
my
on
white
the
blouse,
blazer.
gargantuan, and on the lapel of my blazer is just burger juice. Burger something.
It looked like tomato sauce.
Residue,
Something.
etc. I'm gonna be honest, a little bit on the verge of tears because I'm so stressed out. The
Yeah.
stakes could not be higher. I've been illegally parked. And then I look down just to be like, okay, am I good? I was not good.
And I look to Georgia, I see her, and I go, are you okay? And she goes, no. I go, okay.
But I'd say, I tell you what, you were very good in a crisis. You were like, okay, let's take a deep breath. We'll just grab what we need.
It's like, you can go to the bathroom and like clean up if you want to. You're like, no. And then just
Well,
as-
it's just there was nothing I could do about it.
no, I know.
There's nothing
Well,
to be done.
you could have whipped your shirt around as we figured out later. But anyway,
Anyways,
then you're like explaining to me how you're feeling and like trying to figure this out. And Osgood is walking.
he's walking to the bathroom, like
And so
two
I just
steps
have to
from us.
respectfully be like, Georgia, just shh for a second. I was just
Oh
like,
my God. So
okay,
much was
okay.
happening. Anyways, we got to the carpet. I have my phone open. I'm looking at my questions. I'm like, okay. Whistler Media is doing their press with them first. So then there's like, honestly, it was kind of a calm. I felt like I was in the eye
we were
of the
the
storm.
only other media there.
It was deadly
Whistler and us.
It was deadly silent. It was so quiet in there.
yeah.
It was very quiet. I felt like I was in the eye of a hurricane. Chaos ensuing all around.
Okay, Bridget Mendler.
Centered.
Sorry.
Jill, can you put a meme in there? Can we put a meme in there?
I'm
Whoever's
editing this.
That's a crazy laugh. Sorry. Shit, guys. We finally get there. They're taking photos, whatever.
But then they're really taking their time a
But
little
then
bit.
they're really taking their time. Honestly, I'm like exhaling a little bit. I'm still clocking that there's a stain on my shirt, but I've like closed. I
It was
closed
never
the blazer.
But yeah, the blazer helped.
The blazer did
It
help quite a lot.
was-
Yeah, and the media pass was right in there. So we got the chance. Hannah got the chance to speak to Chris. We knew Hannah was going to speak to Chris just because producer things, because
Yeah.
little producer things. Also because Osgood set long legs in Oregon, and having lived in Oregon for many years, I
But
was
you're-
really excited to chat with him
yeah.
about that. We didn't get to chat with Osgood. He just scurried away,
Which is fair.
which is fair, honestly. If I was
Scurried
him,
away is he did scurry away. He was, you know what? We've discovered he's not a huge press guy, and that's fine. And I
Which
get
I'm
it.
like,
I
wouldn't-
probably wouldn't,
I
be either. Let's finish the story, and then I have a thought.
I think it was frustrating. The stakes were so high. The chaos was chaosing.
And also, it was dead silent. In
Also,
there.
it was
so from
dead
being like to
Honestly, it felt a little anticlimactic because after all that hustling and all that work and all the I didn't get to speak with Osgood, and that was, I mean, it was a little frustrating, you know, but as we've, I think, kind of learned from TIFF and learned from press, if you're interested in the journalism side of things and you're on a carpet, people will just walk right by you.
Yeah.
If you've been standing there for 4 hours or 4 minutes, they don't know. They will just walk right by you. They will be like, yeah, not today. And it's their time, and they get to choose to do with it what they please. And you just got to roll with it.
And we'll talk to him at a later date. It's fine.
Osgood, if you're watching this retroactively, peace and love to you.
We love you. You were so hilarious in the masterclass.
You were so hilarious in the
so
masterclass, and I hold no animosity.
And I was so excited to talk to Chris Ferguson.
And I had a huge stain on my shirt, and what if he had noticed? And
well, I feel
cried.
like maybe that because he's so tall. The
He is so
angle with
tall.
which he was like looking at you, it might have like. You know
there
what
was. I mean, it was.
So maybe the universe saved us there.
Yeah, maybe.
We did have a good cry after.
Yes.
And that was I think a
But-
beautiful moment of us communicating with each other.
And I think it's so funny when people try and like assess what the dynamic between Hannah and I is. We've had people be like, "Are you best friends?" Are
The way
you?
that we haven't until this festival described ourselves as friends is
Which
actually
is-
hilarious.
Y'all, I'm gonna say it here. Hannah is my friend.
Georgia is my friend too.
We are friends.
And
And we have conversations that revolve around things that are not work related.
No,
it is
sometimes.
often work related.
yeah.
I said our friendship is built into this dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we met in class. We decided we were going to start this project. And the friendship, I think, blossomed from the obscene amount of time that we spent together.
And it's great. Like the first night we were here, I was literally cry laughing at the fact that we just realized we were friends. Because like the way I describe Georgia, I'm never like, oh, my friend Georgia. I'm always like, oh, my partner, which sounds like we're
romantic
gay.
or something.
Well, we
which
are, but like
but for each other. And then it's like my business partner, which is
My
also acceptable.
co-host.
My co-host, and then it's it's so funny.
yeah, because Zara, I'm not sure what her last name is,
But I
but
think
she,
Durrani.
yeah, so she's
Yeah.
doing a lot of like the Whistler red carpet interviews for the festival, and yeah, she was like, "So are you guys best friends?" And literally, we were like, "Oh,"
Which makes
Wait,
it sound
no.
like we don't like
and
each other.
and our answer was, "We met in class,"
Which is why is it so awkward? I'm like, Hannah and I've literally shared a bed
multiple
Like,
times. So yeah, I was
Anyways.
cackling at that the night after. But what I was gonna say was kind of jumping back. We're talking about Osgood. Did he not say that he directed his first film in his 40s?
yeah, I think he said when he was 41, 49. One of those. And then another one when he was 50 something.
Like, are you kidding me, guys?
It's never too late.
You have so much time. The notion that you're running out of time is stupid. It's
Well-
not stupid. I understand it. We feel that.
I think he was saying like he was talking about oh man, this is going to be embarrassing that this is wrong. I think he was talking about Orson Welles directing Citizen Kane
When he was 24.
when he was 24, and it might not be Orson Welles, and I'm so
It
sorry
was.
that it was.
Wait, no. Wait, yeah.
Who directed Citizen
I
Kane?
think it's Orson Welles. But why does that sound like the author of 1984?
That's George Orwell.
Okay, yeah. So Orson Welles did direct
Um,
Citizen Kane.
I mean, love Orson Welles.
That was the first film I watched in film school.
Really?
Mhm.
He
And
did
in Fist 100.
Fist one. Oh my god, I love that class. Yeah, there's a film of that he was acting in called Lady from Shanghai. That was like, it's in my Letterboxd bio. If you know, you know.
Follow Georgia on Letterboxd.
Follow me.
Don't
on
follow me
Letterboxd.
because I haven't made a single post other than my top 4.
It's okay. It's really like that.
I was on a first date and they were like, make your top 4 right now. I was like, okay.
Okay,
No.
pushy. Creative partnership is so important, and don't put a pressure on yourself. And you know what Osgood was saying? He was like, when I was 24,
I was
can we say? Well, he said it. He was
Yeah.
like, I was stoned.
Stoned.
I was stupid. He was talking about his dad passing when he was young, and he was like confused, and
grieving.
which maybe is why people are like, wow, it's so exciting to see young people that are like working towards professional goals.
I think times
Maybe.
definitely have changed since our parents' generation of what. I mean, for them, obviously they were buying houses in their 20s, kind of, some, and like doing that whole family thing. But at the same time, I don't even know what I'm saying. It depends who you are. Everybody's on their own path.
Osgood did say time moves faster now. It definitely
That's
moves
what I was
faster
going to
now.
say. Like,
yeah.
I feel like there's more with social media and like watching everybody's success online. There's definitely more of a push and an energy to like,
Things are different.
I'm running out of time. I better do everything right now, which
Take it at your own pace.
I'm guilty of.
I am in the same boat in a lot of ways as well. But we can say to ourselves and say to the people listening,
We have
take
all
it
the
at your own
time in the
pace.
world.
You have all the time in the world.
You're not running late. You're just on time. And an opportunity that is actually meant for you is never going to pass you by. What they said, we loved this masterclass. We're just
It was
talking and talking and talking about it.
But it was really good.
But they were talking about like luck and can luck be made? And
you make your own
I
luck.
truly believe that it can be.
Mm.
It can be made. And what Chris Ferguson was talking about was it's just depends on how many shots you take. You know what I mean? If you can, and that's what I mean by the consistency next year of like just continuously putting ourselves out there with Film Picnic, with our personal brands as well.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
No,
Wayne
literally.
Gretzky, Michael Scott. If you know, you know.
I'm just gonna say
It's
Michael
not niche.
Scott.
That's not a niche reference. If you like the
Wayne.
Office.
That was from Wayne Gretzky.
Mhm.
That's hockey.
Yeah.
That's crazy because I've
Yeah.
been saying that forever, and I didn't even know about hockey until not long ago.
I didn't even know about hockey.
Well, I
What
knew
is-
about hockey, but I didn't know who Wayne Gretzky was until I came to Canada.
Yeah, I guess I didn't know that Tim Horton was a hockey player.
He's quite good looking in his youth.
I don't think I've ever seen a photo of him.
Well, anyway, it's no longer a Canadian company.
In summation, Canada, media,
Up and coming. Been here.
been there.
Been everywhere.
Word association.
Well-
Creative partnerships,
Yes.
hustling,
Mm-hmm.
being young women, being unafraid, carving out space for ourselves.
Carving heavy on that.
Convex, concave.
Yes. Was that from this one or the last one?
No, I don't know if that was on camera. We were talking about shapes.
You asked me what I want to do with my degree and
Yeah.
what I want to do next year. I
Yeah.
want to shift that question to you and Film Picnic and what you're hoping for or excited for.
In the masterclass, we're sitting behind. Honestly, festivals are great because we run into every single person that we know and people that have been on the show, people that are friends with people that have been on the show, people that we've worked with. We were sitting behind our pal Jenny Lee Gilmore.
Shout out Jenny.
Shout out Jenny. We were talking about. I was asking her about her writing process because she is a writer, is a director, and I was just like, "What is your process like? How do you stay consistent?" I think in my mind, I was saying to her, like, in my mind, the great writers do their morning routine and then they sit down like a 9 to 5 and they write. And Jenny was basically like, I do it on an Apple box. I do it in my bed. I do it on the bus. I do it at like all these different places, you know, like it's an in-between moments. And again, coming back to the message of consistency, I think I would like in the next year to integrate more consistency in my practice of writing. Because it has been in very spare moments. I think I am also like, I forget how much I like writing when I don't do it. And then I get a burst of like inspiration or energy or something and I sit down, and especially after you get past the first 15 minutes and then you're just in it and you're like, I have this idea, I'm fleshing out this thought. Like even when I'm agonizing over the word choice, like just being in the process is so important. And then you're like, wow, I actually really enjoy this. All that to say, I would like to just I would like to make more time for writing, and I would like to show up more consistently in that way. My strategy for this, because we believe in SMART goals.
Yes, we do. Hashtag business. Is the green light still on?
Yeah, specific, measurable, actionable,
Realistic.
time
Time-bound.
oriented, time bound. I was telling Jenny about the artist's way. Well, I wasn't
I
telling her
also
about
want
it,
to do
but-
the artist's way
Yeah,
next year.
And shout out Sam Albert. I don't know if we've ever shouted you out on the pod before.
Hi, Sam. I
Hi,
miss
Sam.
you. I haven't
I
seen you
miss
in
you, girl.
forever.
Where are
Is he already
you?
in Montreal?
No, I think he was living on the island. He was like house sitting on an island, and then
What a vibe.
talking about your personal affairs, Sam. Sorry. I think he's moving back to White Rock. I don't really know.
Okay.
Nonetheless, Sam, whenever we get together, it's always just like this creative burst of energy.
I feel very excited and
Yes, and we're always just like hyping each other up. And we're like, yes, he's English lit, amazing, honors. He was like, I'm doing the artist's way every single morning. I get up and I have a cup of coffee and I just write 3 pages handwritten, and it gets all the cobwebs out. And I think that's great. Just being like every single day, consistency, getting back to it.
yeah.
That's what I want for this year. I'm also dabbling in the producing.
Yes, you
I'm-
are.
I know Han and I are both trying to be more in the social media space
Yes,
to
we
make life
are.
easier and
We
to
are
make life
going
monetized.
to let ourselves be cringe.
Which I'm already doing.
Oh yeah, we've been doing
Which we've
that.
been doing.
As if I haven't been posting on YouTube since I was 12.
Not the people that are sending Hannah DMs being like, I saw your YouTube videos and I really want to come to UBC and will you please be my mentor, et cetera, because I love you from YouTube. It's beautiful.
It is really beautiful. And then, like, I can't. I don't even know how to talk about it because it's just like, that's so sweet. Even though I have like such a little minuscule following, it's so niche that when you look up UBC Film Production, it's my YouTube channel. So it's just,
Well,
and
my
that's how I met
uncle-
Jill.
What? Oh, yeah.
That's how I met Jill. Oh my God. She sent me a photo of the comment that I left on her YouTube video like 5 years ago. And it's
Jill's
so,
YouTube video?
It's way too deep. It's so TMI. I'm like, I'm going off by myself. I'm so scared. All my friends are like at university now. And it's like really hard watching them. And like,
Oh.
anyway, there are children running around us.
In summary, in conclusion, I think being our authentic selves is an asset and a tool, and it's a joy to do it with you.
It is a joy to do it with
And
you.
I'm so excited to continue doing it.
Genuinely.
And season 3 is going to be so good, you guys. You have no idea.
We are scheming.
We are scheming. Emails are being sent.
You're
pitches
welcome
are being
for the guests that we
developed.
have, by the way.
Um,
You're welcome.
And we're gonna bring opportunities along as well.
Yeah.
We'll have some in-person events happening.
Yeah, we really kind of want to do a focus group kind of thing in January and just talk to our listeners and see what you guys want from us and what access hopefully we can share with you guys as well. I think it would be great if we can collaborate with festivals in the future to give out some free tickets to our listeners.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And all that kind of stuff. So
And
bigger
thanks
and
for
better
listening
things.
to the crazy story.
Thank you for listening to the crazy story. But like, I
That
think
needed
that's
to be
fun. I
shared.
think that's relevant. We didn't need to talk about it. I'm so excited for what's in store for us, for you to be getting through the program.
I know. I start the master's program in June. What will that be like? Chaos. We'll see.
Well,
Maybe it'll be great.
maybe.
I'm sure it will be.
Well, when we go to TIFF next year, you'll also miss a week of school, just like I did. No, I missed one day. Never mind. You could miss a week if you want, but anyway, it's a joy. Thank you so much, Whistler Film Festival, for having us.
Thank you, Whistler Film
a
Fest.
second year.
A second year. Thank you, George Strombo, for sitting down with us for so long.
Thank you, everyone who spoke to us, everyone who got a sticker or a card. We will be reaching out, and
We'll see you in the new year.
we'll see you in our next season
We'll
as
see you
we
on season
continue to
3.
explore the Canadian film industry through
With meaningful conversation,
one picnic at a time. Cheers. For season 2. Okay.
Can we film some silly dancing? Yes.